Hello students, welcome to our next session. I am Dr. Madhulika, Faculty, School of Management Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Present time can rightly be called as an era of statistics. In every sphere of life, statistical method and data are to be used. Suppose if you go through any report or survey, you find the data of facts. The data may be diagrammatic presented or statistically presented, which reflects the ups and downs of the situation. As a layman, you can easily understand the problem and the solution of the situation. All the data are raw if it is using without any object. So I feel great pleasure to introduce Dr. Subodh Kesarwani as an expert of statistics, and today is our resource person. Dr. Kesarwani is a faculty member of School of Management Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University. Today he is going to discuss and BDP program course ECO 7, that is Elements of Statistics, and Block 1. Now I would request to Dr. Subodh, please start with your presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Madhulika. I want to start this presentation with some different point, but since we have initiated with a very good thing about talking about data, which is a raw part, and if the data is not properly used, because the data is going to take a shape of information which we use for our future references and all, but if this data is not properly used, not properly taken into consideration, it's useless. It could not solve the purpose for what purpose this data had been meant for. So one has to be very careful and very much think about while considering the data and how to take the data, how to extract the data. This is the another approach. And the statistics, being a good statistician, you have to keep in mind how you are going to streamline the thing, how you are going to tabulate the data, how you are going to configure the data and present the data, interpret the data. So these are the few points which we are going to cover in our coming presentation, I hope, because as you know, this is a course, part of the course issue 7, element of statistics, what you have talked about, and what I am going to talk about today is basic statistical concepts and various statistical derivatives. The various statistical derivatives are, say, ratio, rates, proportions, percentages. We will discuss all these things after covering an elaborative view on this statistics. What I am going to talk today is about the statistics. What are the functions of statistics? Yeah, please, पूछिए.
Hello.
Hello. Maybe there.
I think maybe phone.
There may be some
disconnect.
So in the meantime, I am starting my presentation. I appreciate the viewers.
Hello.
Yes, please.
मैं डॉक्टर त्रिपाठी जी से बोल रहा हूँ.
हाँ, त्रिपाठी जी बताइए.
मैंने सर 19 लड़कों को पत्र लिख करके इनवाइट किया था, उसमें से एक स्टूडेंट आया है.
अच्छा, बहुत अच्छी.
रजिस्ट्रेशन हो रहा है इसी से सवाल पूछने के लिए.
नहीं.
मैं उसी के द्वारा सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ ताकि उसका एजुकेशन जरूरत थी.
नहीं, बिल्कुल.
पूछिए.
हेलो.
हाँ जी, पूछिए.
मैम, आपसे मैं ये सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ
जी.
म्यूचुअल फंड को किस प्रकार से निवेश करते हैं?
ओके. हाँ, म्यूचुअल फंड्स को किस प्रकार
निवेश करते हैं.
किस प्रकार निवेश करते हैं. I want to tell the viewers, because this is our second presentation. Previously we have a very good discussion on financial institution and derivatives, and Dr. Mazalika was an expert in that. I hope, Dr. Mazalika, you can answer this question. How we are going to invest the mutual funds? Because since the viewers, because this session is going to, this session is already over and we are discussing about statistics, but still, since you have approached to us, we are welcoming your question and answer this.
Right. See, the question is in Hindi, so we are able to give the answer also in Hindi. देखिए, म्यूचुअल फंड को हम उसी तरीके से निवेश कर सकते हैं जैसे कि हम बाकी शेयरों में निवेश करते हैं. जैसे आपके शेयर्स जो इशू होते हैं स्टॉक एक्सचेंज के द्वारा, इसी तरीके से इनका भी, म्यूचुअल फंड का भी एक समय होता है और इसका एक ये पब्लिक को, म्यूचुअल फंड्स पब्लिक को इनवाइट करते हैं, पेपर में इसका एप्लीकेशन आता है और इसका टाइम दिया होता है कि इस दिन पर ये म्यूचुअल फंड खुल रहा है, और उसके खुलने के बाद ही आप अपना पैसा उस म्यूचुअल फंड में लगा सकते हैं. म्यूचुअल फंड में जो इन्वेस्टमेंट होता है वो क्वाइट सेफ और सिक्योर होता है. इसमें लॉसेस की गुंजाइश बहुत ही नगण्य होती है. तो ये बिल्कुल उसी तरीके से है जैसे आप बाकी शेयर्स में के दाम कभी बढ़ भी सकते हैं, गिर भी सकते हैं, कभी आपको नुकसान भी हो सकता है, लेकिन म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इसकी संभावना बहुत कम होती है.
I request viewers, the number had been displayed on our TV screen. They can dial this toll-free number to have a chat with us. This number is 18001 12345. Apart from this, right now we are discussing statistics. We welcome viewers to ask the question related to this area only, and whatever the questions they have in mind, we will try to cover at the end of this session. Thank you. So what we were talking about, Dr. Madhuri, what I am going to talk about in this presentation is about statistics, functions of statistics, importance of statistics, and what are the shortcomings of statistics and various statistical derivatives one by one. There is a famous quotation quoted by some statistician gurus. There are three kind of lies: lies, damned lies, and statistics. So you see how the statistics is going to manipulate if you are going to wrongly interpret the thing. Say, here I would like to take a very good example. Say I am running one organization and I am manufacturing any product. From the last 10 years, I have prepared data of one product, and I hope that and this product sale was going down year by year. So I was expecting this year the sale was supposed to be down, but this was analysis, estimation, what we have analyzed from the statistics, but in actuality the things can go change. So one has to be very careful while analyzing the thing, while interpreting the thing, because statistics is going to give a wrong picture also if you are not going to, because these are basically the estimation, it's not accurate.
As we earlier said that datas are raw.
Datas are raw.
We can manipulate the data according to our object.
Exactly. So you see how the statistics is going to change. So if you see the origination of statistics, numerical records are as old as writing. Censuses and government's accounts go back to ancient times. The origin of statistics around 1800 came with ambitions to make a science of statecraft, and with an ideal of public knowledge, census records were no longer secret of state. If you see the science of statistics, statistics was the first at social science and not a mathematical one. It was championed by people who hoped the numbers could speak for themselves, because whatever the analysis they have done, on basis of that, if the production of the car, if the sales of the car is increasing, say Maruti is producing a car and their demand is increasing year by year, so from the last 10 years, the demand say increased by 10%. So this year also they are expecting a 10%.
Right.
So this is basically analysis. Statistical data give them the picture about that
about the demand of the
Maruti car increase with the 10% year by year. So this is basically estimation. There may be a discrepancy in the estimation. So one has to be very careful, keeping in mind. So like say if the Maruti is expecting that when they have started their business in India, and gradually there was few players, say Hindustan Motors was there producing the Ambassador car, then they have manufacturer from Italy who is producing this Fiat and Padmini, and they were the third players. So gradually they have increased a very good market share, and from last 4 or 5 years they have number one in this industry. But if you see the 3, 4, 5 year analysis, last 3, 4, 5 year analysis, there were some new players who have entered in the Indian market, like Hyundai with the product Santro and many other players. So no doubt if you are going to compare the past year data and you are not incorporating the players who are entered into the market, your analysis will be wrong. So
Dr. Subodh, one question I have to ask you, that how can they collect the data from the market? What is the modus operandi?
The modus operandi is there because once I will coming to my presentations, I will see how they are going to collect the primary data, how they are going to collect the secondary data, and say we as academician, what we used to do, we used to do research, write papers, and before writing papers we used to do a lot of homework, like say preparing the questionnaires, distributing the questionnaires to the people. From that we get the primary data, then collect the secondary data also, accumulate all those things, and hypothesis, chi-square test.
Primary data are collected by themselves.
Yeah. So basically I will cover all my thing. Before going into this collection of the primary data and secondary data, I will try to throw some light on the statistics, how the statistics had been originated, and what are its pros and cons, what are its limitations, and up to what extent we have to be cautious. These are some points which we have to keep in mind. So this if you see the comparison of statistics with mathematics, though both have got a very good similarity, but still statistics is a mathematical science, but it is not a branch of mathematics.
Right.
Statistical
As
thinking,
you earlier said that statistics is a social science.
Because
it is
because its purpose was to for the social causes. That was the major reason which has given birth to the statistics. And the statistical thinking differs from mathematical thinking in important ways. The role of context, the logic of statistical inference, because mathematics have a different approach, statistics have a different approach. The more emphasis of the statistics is to throw light on the analysis, to extract the past records and up to date our future happenings, future transactions. This is basically a major role of the statistics. So if you see the definition of statistics, what you were talking about in the beginning, that what we have to do, and statistical is a mathematical science pertaining to the collection, analysis, interpretation, explanation and presentation of data. All these points are very important, because what we used to do, as I was talking about being an academician, if I am doing my research in particular area, I used to collect the data. This is basically a primary job. First job, collect the data from where I can do that, then analyze it, interpret it, explain it, maybe preparation.
Interpret according to the object.
According to the object. Say I am writing a paper on computers, how this computer is going to facilitate people in a big way. What are the usage of the computers? How much population in the urban areas, how much population in the rural areas are using this. So this is basically, so we have to prepare our questionnaire accordingly, and we could see that in the past years this much people. Take the example of mobile phone is a very good example, because the day by day, this on the basis of analysis, usage of laptops, the new technology which are coming into the market, they used to show the analysis to the people, and people think that look how the usage of laptops are increasing day by day. So how we can say that? Because our past record used to show that that in the past this much usage was there and now this much usage, and in the coming future maybe this
The
can cross
demand
the
is,
limit. Say the usage of laptop increased by 5%, so we are expecting after 5 years future plan. If you go and see our future prospect, after 5 years it could have a 25% growth. So this is basically estimation. Sometimes we have a discrepancy into it also. We are not able to analyze the thing. Maybe say we are talking about the desktop market can boost in a big way, but say some new technologies had entered. Say there are some multimedia mobiles which we are a mobile which are Wi-Fi enabled, which are having some new new technology use like Bluetooth technology and say upcoming technology. So this market of this is there. So we have to see what is the usage and what are the factors which are going to affect it also.
Ajay, Dr. Subodh, sometime if datas are not properly given by the organization, so can organization extrapolate or interpolate the data according to the object?
They can do that. Look, sometimes what happened, we used to get a report in Excels. You know, Excel is a spreadsheet, is a big spreadsheet where you can put lot of information in a tabulated form. And say while preparation of the student mark sheet and all, we get all the information. There are many informations like student address, student phone number, student marks and all. If we want, we can get all this information in an Excel sheet. But while preparation of the this mark sheet, we used to extract those information which we actually needed in the mark sheet. You're getting my point? Like student name is there, student date of birth is there, student marks is there, and not other address and all. So what we have to do, we have to eliminate all those information. So accordingly, if the data are in the soft form, the way we can manipulate the data, or say we can refine the data, we can do that. In that way we can use the data, extract the information accordingly. So this is the way.
So we can interpolate or extrapolate the data according to
our need. We can do that. It's up to us.
Right.
Because again, it's up to us how we are getting the data. If the data are very in a haphazard way, you're not able to. And if you are going to, because in my coming slide I will try to cover those points, that what are the ways of taking the data. That should be homogeneous also. You can't compare apple with the apple with the other commodities. You can compare with the apple with the homogeneous thing. So one has to be very calculative while keeping in mind all these things, because homogeneity is one of the important factor. And other factor also there, like how you are going to compare the other thing with that. There must be some point of say understanding should be there. Now that is the reason. So statistics is a mathematical science pertaining to the collection, analysis, interpretation or explanation and presentation of data. It is applicable to a wide variety of academic disciplines, as I was talking about. Like we used to do a research and involve ourselves in other activities, and this statistics is going to play a very vital role, because accordingly we used to see if the number is increasing, and while seeing our past record we can come to know that what could be the market of this course. Say we have launched any program and the number is increasing day by day, so we can see what is the potential of this program in the particular time, particular juncture. So that we have to look. Statistics are also used for making informed decision and misused for other reasons in all areas of business and government. So one has to be very cautious, because somebody can misuse the information. Say there are two rivals, two business rivals who are working. Say now, say Santro, Hyundai is one player and in the automobile industry, and Maruti is one player in the automobile industry. Hyundai come to know that the graph of the Maruti cars are increasing with this percentage. To cut this, because they have analyzed their past data and come to know that if they are not going to take any necessary steps, their market will be less day by day and they will be out from the market. So these are basically the analysis done by the business rivals. So what they will do, they will enhance their product they will incorporate some extra features in their product so that users can go for their product. Like in the case of laptops, and say take the example of a very good example is a mobile. Now they are providing a very good features. Say so in the one mobile which is black and white, other mobile is a colored mobile with lot of technologies involved into it, game facility, many ample number of facilities they are providing into it. So with the help of that, now they are planning to create this market and abolish that market. So with the help of past data they can look, this is basically an increase in the number of this, say Nokia is coming up with the flagship product N series. Now right now everybody have got a mobile with them, so they are showing the data that this N series users are increasing with a 15% growth or something like that. So now users are extracting towards it, and this is the way by which they can extract the customers and create the market, and abolishing the other users, other competitive markets.
To get the business.
So this is the way. Now you have to look after that how you are going to extract the business. So this is what I was talking about, the science of statistics. This is basically a collection, evaluation, interpretation.
Right.
Statistic is a group
there
of...
is a three steps.
Collection.
Statistics.
Collection is a collection, accumulating the data.
One can
what are your resources? What you're talking about in the beginning, that raw data.
Then, and one can collect primary or secondary.
Okay. Yes. Then to accumulate all those. Then the second job is to evaluate. That is classification, classifying the data. Which data will go over there? Say name is there, तो name की category में आ गया. उसको फिर अगर और फिर फोन नंबर तो फोन नंबर की कैटेगरी में आ गया, मार्क्स है तो मार्क्स की कैटेगरी में आ गया, like that. So this is the way by which we can categorize the, classify the data, then summarize the data what we have got from the sometimes we used to get the summary of like what is basically a gist of the preparation of this data. So this is basically summary, organization, analysis. This we will cover with a very good examples. I hope this is going to give a very good create a very good concepts in the student mind about this statistics. So if you see, this is basically starts with the scientific knowledge, reason and intuition, empirical observation. Empirical observation means preparation of questionnaire, then applying the hypothesis, chi-square. These are some advanced stages of statistics which we can cover in our because if you see the modules, there are different ways by which measure of central tendency is one of the way. Into it there are certain averages, mean, median, mode. So these are basically
harmonic mean is also there.
These are basically a thing. So empirical observation, formulate hypothesis, collecting data to test hypothesis. So these are basically a different way. If you define statistics in plural sense, a more comprehensive definition of statistics was given by Secretist. According to him, statistics means aggregate of facts affected to mark extent by multiplicity of causes, numerically expressed, enumerated or estimated according to a reasonable standard of accuracy, collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purpose and placed in relation to each other. The first point, which is very important, must be aggregate of facts. While you are going for collecting the data, say there are, say in this organization there are n number of employees. If you are talking about one fellow that this Mr. Ramesh is drawing 5,000 salary, so this is not statistics. But once we are comparing that n number of employees in the organization with this much salary, because we are accumulating, we are aggregating the facts, we are making the chart of the people who are drawing the salary from IGNOU. So this is basically a statistic. So must be aggregate of facts and must be accumulation
and categorize
of it. So that is the second job, because individually the major motive of this statistic is to consider the thing in a aggregation. It's not you're talking about individual people. You talk about a group. Like if in the school
So
there.
statistics is not talking about an individual or
Yes, because you are basically analyzing that thing, you are basically
in a
accumulating the
singular
thing
form.
in a. So this is basically first job is to aggregation of facts. Monthly income is a one example. We have got another example. Say if we want to say Mr. Mohan is 6 feet tall. This is not statistics, but if we are saying in the school number of people who are 6 feet tall. So this is basically a statistic because we are preparing a data of the people who are almost 6 feet tall. So this is basically aggregation
So
of.
census is a very good example of a statistic.
Yes, census is a very good example. In fact, I have covered, but I have not elaborately talked about it. Affected by multiplicity of factors, and the statistics very much influenced by the. It's not the one factor which can influenced. Say if we talked about the production of mango varies from year to year. Last year the production we have got very less output of mango. This year we have got a very good. Very good mango because there are certain factors which are affecting this. That is soil, temperature, weather, and other factors, transportation, which are not able to cover that. So what I mean to say, there are many factors which are influencing one thing, which can so affected by multiplicity of factors. Numerically expressed, what I was talking about, that the boy who is 6 feet tall, I am talking about one boy with his height and all, but numerically I am going to express now that number of boys in one school which are 6 feet tall. So this we are going to express
from 5 feet 5 inches to
6 feet, or what height we have considered. We are preparing the data on the basis of that. So one thing has to be numerically expressed if we want to calculate in terms of statistics. Enumerated or estimated according to a reasonable standard of accuracy. What I was talking about, that different commodities are enumerated in different ways. Like once we are going to enumerate gold, we have to calculate in terms of kilograms. When we are going to enumerate food, it could be in tons, lakh tons, liquid in liters. So enumerated or estimated according to reasonable standard of accuracy, collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purpose. That is, haphazard data does not serve the purpose. This has to be in a system and properly calculated, placed in relation to each other. That is homogeneous comparison. That is not what I was talking about. Apple should be compared with the chair. If you are going to make a chart of the student, that is how the BCom student going to compare with the BSc student
or MCom student.
MCom student. There must be some homogeneity. In some aspects we can compare it. That in BCom we have got this much enrollment of student. So this is basically in that case BCom is an individual identity. Whereas if you are going to that is inculcate all these things, you have to aggregate, take the thing into aggregation. This is basically a major objective of the statistics. So numerically information must be collected, organized, presented, analyzed, interpreted if it has to be used in decision making.
Analysis and evaluation are the same thing in statistical term.
It's vary from sometime we have to analyze, then we have to evaluate, sometime we have to evaluate first. So it's vary from this circumstances to circumstances. So this was basically a plural approach. The singular approach is that statistics is the science which deals with the methods of collecting, classifying, presenting, comparing and interpreting numerical data collected to throw some light. So if you see really what statistics is, statistics is a general intellectual method applies wherever data, variation and chance appear. Is fundamental because data, variation and chance are present everywhere in today's life. Is an independent discipline with its own core ideas rather than the branch of another discipline. If you are going to relate statistics with information, The question of public knowledge of statistics presumes that statistics are a form of information. The idea of information usually assumes that the facts are self-explanatory, readily available for direct use by anyone. The important point which is coming in our mind: what motivates you to go and take the help of the statistics? If we talk in terms of societies and business, because societies and business want to have control over things like if the government want to reduce the rates of cancer, or they have to take the help of statistics. With the help of that, they are able to know where this disease had been occurring in a big way and how they are going to make the remedy of it. So these are heart attacks and other disease. Growing better plants, determining what public service announcements, deciding whether building a new lane on a congested road will increase or decrease congestion. So these are the points which has to be, because these are some social causes.
So what are the tools of the statistics? If we are talking about the tools of the statistics, so can we consider data collection, interpretation and analyzing? These
we can do that, because
the tools.
Because what we are talking in this presentation, there are no doubt there are different tools and techniques, because what I was talking about, measure of dispersion, measure of central tendency, skewness, another chi-square test, hypothesis, these are basically a broader view of statistics. What I am talking over here is the basic elements of the statistics, and which can give a preamble approach to the learners, that what is basically statistics and how they are going to initiate it. So as individuals, we need to make personal decisions, what to eat, remain healthy. So on the basis of analysis, because we used to read newspaper every day, and there some report used to come that on that basis it had been done. So how they are going to put their verdict to us means they have gone and taken a help of statistics, and with the help of that they come to know that, and on that basis they used to draw some conclusion, and which conclusion had been shown to us. So this is one of the thing, like cost versus benefit for lifestyle changes, exercise, meditation, taking an aspirin a day, night lights for children. So these are basically, this is going to, and as intelligent curious being, we want to understand things like how does memory work, do left hand people die at a younger average age. So these are some points, and on the basis of statistics we are getting a result of it. So why statistics is important? This is a very important point. As social curious beings, we want to know about other people. Who are they planning to vote in the next election? Like what television programs are they watching? Do they think drugs like would be legal? So these are things which are coming in our mind, and the statistics is going to give the answer of that.
Like exit poll is a best example of the statistics.
Exactly. The important point is that when we talk about this applied statistics, it had been segregated into two parts, that is descriptive and inferential statistics. Statistical methods can be used to summarize or describe a collection of data. This is called a descriptive statistics. In addition, patterns in data may be modeled in a way that accounts for randomness and uncertainty in the observations, and then used to draw inferences about the process or population being studied. This is called inferential statistics. Both this inferential and descriptive statistics is a part of applied statistics.
What is the difference between two?
We are coming, because in one we are talking about taking the population into consideration, in other we are taking the sample into consideration. We will see how what is basically a meaning of this different descriptive statistics and inferential statistics, and apart from this we will take an example which can give a picture about how we can distinguish one with other. Like descriptive statistics consists of methods for organizing, displaying and describing data by using tables, graph and summary measures. This is one of the aspects what you have talked about. This descriptive statistics take into consideration this graphs, table and summary measures, whereas inferential statistics consist of methods that use sample results to help make decisions. So descriptive statistics more emphasis towards the population, whereas inferential statistics more emphasize on the sample aspects. So if you see the difference between this population versus sample, a population consists of all elements. It's a gamut, individual items or objects whose characteristics are being studied. The population that is being studied is called the target population, whereas a portion of the population selected for the study is referred to as a sample. What we used to do once we have studied the probability, into it we go for the random thing, into it we used to extract something from there, and on the basis of it we used to prepare the report, because sample concept is somewhat fruitful where the data is very large. We are not able to analyze individually, go through all the data. There we can extract randomly, take the sample of it and then do it. So you see a very good example is there, where we have got a population at the left side and sample at the right side. We have extracted some sample from the population, and on that sample this inferential approach should be taken into consideration. So if you see the descriptive statistics describe collected data with the help of graph. Measure of center tendency is one of the approach. Numerical part what the descriptive statistics means. In measure of center tendency comes under the descriptive statistics. 51.4% of all credit card purchases in the first quarter of 2003 were made with a Visa card. This is a very good example of descriptive statistics. The average return to pay ratio of financial industry CEOs
is... descriptive statistics is a detailed statistics.
Exactly. It's basically taken into, it's a simple statistics, more taking the, say, averages. What we used to do in the, we have got a simple series, we take the average of it.
Right.
Like what we used to follow in the measure of center tendency, mean, median and mode. So this is one of the way of descriptive statistics. So elements of descriptive statistics is population, sample of interest, investigative variables, numerical summary, tools, charts, graph, tables, pattern identification in data. If you see the illustrative approach of the descriptive statistics, refer to various measures that are used to describe the characteristic features of the data. Such measures include measure of center tendency, as I was talking about, measure of dispersion, etc. Graph, tables and charts that display data are also examples of descriptive statistics. What we used to do, we used to make the data in the tabulated form. We have got a spreadsheet with us, Excel हमारे पास है, उसमें हमने command डाला and we get the data in the bar chart. We get the data in a cylindrical chart. So in a diagrammatic explanation, either in so this is basically one of the approach of the descriptive statistics, where more
in
emphasis.
Graphical chart we can use heterogeneous graphic.
You can use, it's again the part of it, because you have got, it's a different head. Okay. Heterogeneous means a different head, because student name is a one head, marks is another head, but there must be some synchronization.
Okay, and so we get the result.
Yes,
from these
because
heads.
What your objective is that to prepare a mark sheet of the student. For that you have tabulated the data, you have collected the information from the students' records, evaluation records, and accumulate it and given a shape of a mark sheet. So this is basically a way by which we can do it. So suppose the number of first year student is 100 and you compute the average marks of these students. Here you are using a descriptive statistics. You're getting my point?
Right.
Whereas inferential statistics makes generalization about a group based on a subset sample of that group. Rather than emphasizing on the population part, they are taking the sample of that, because it's very tough, because the things are, data are in masses. You are not able to extract all the information. So what you are doing, you are taking a sample from it. On that basis, you are incorporate. Services industry CEOs are underpaid relative to the CEOs in telecommunications. So you see, services industry CEOs, you are not talking about the CEOs as a whole. You are talking about CEOs, chief executive officers of the particular service industry, or the particular CEOs in telecommunications. So you are now confined.
They are, I think they are more than one. CEOs are
They are more than one, but you are not taking into consideration all the CEOs of all the organization. You are talking about the CEOs who are in the service industry, CEOs who are in the telecommunications. So elements of inferential statistics problem: population of interest, investigative variables, sample taken from population, inference about population based on sample data, reliability measure for the inference. If you see the illustrative example explanation of this inferential statistics refers to the statistical process of drawing valid inferences about the characteristics of population data on the basis of sample data. Sample data is a key point into it. One has to be very cautious while
calculating the
inferential statistics. The word population in statistics does not mean only human population. It stands for total items related to any field of study. Here I would like to take an example, like if the teacher in the above example decides to estimate the average marks of the entire class on the basis of sample average, we would say that he is using inferential statistics. So this is the approach. So now, after talking more about elaborately about this statistics, we are talking now about the functions of statistics. The basic function of the statistics is that whatever the facts we have, that has to be in a proper form. Like average yield of cotton per hectare is 180 kg, rather than we are saying that the average yield of cotton is low. Low is not going to give the is high, because here we are confined. If we are saying average yield of cotton per hectare is 180 kg, this is going to give a very clear picture as compared to low or high, because 180 kg is this year, last year maybe it could be less or high. So by that you are able to compare it. If you are saying low, how you are going to compare it? So present facts should be in proper form. This is the basic function of statistics. Simplify unwieldy and complex data. That is, if we have a data which is complex, we can tabulate it and classify it. Provides technique for making comparison. Like we used to compare this growth in the present percentage with the last year past percentage. Say as compared to 2006, there is a 25% phenomenal growth in a 2007 in the IT engineers income. Last year IT engineers were drawing this much salary, and this year they have drawn 25%.
So we can
compare. So we can analyze that maybe in the coming 4 years their salary package could be doubled
or increased 4 times.
So by this is basically analysis. So formulate policies in different fields like family planning and other policies. Study relationship between different phenomena by applying what you have talked about, this hypothesis, chi-square test, correlation, regression analysis. So this is basically a different phenomena by which we are extracting nothing, because you know measure of central tendency have got some limitations. I'm not going to discuss all these things over here, because when we are going to apply the measure of central tendency, when it fails we used to apply a different approach, and that is the way we are going up and up, where one approach fails, the other approach applicable. So in our coming slides, maybe in our next presentation, we try to cover the different aspects in which we will see how these approaches are different, and when we are going to apply the correlation approach, when we are going to apply the regression approach, and when we are going to apply the measure of central tendency. So forecast future value on the basis of figures of last 10 years. The marketing manager can estimate future sales. So this is basically a forecasting of the future values, measures uncertainty.
I interrupt you.
The session is very long. Still I have to cover many things.
We have a very less time to discuss. So learners, I think you have learned lots from Dr. Subodh, and in coming our next session we will discuss on statistics,
Different aspects like what we have ignored this time, limitations of statistics,
right, exactly.
and other derivatives like rates, proportion, percentage and all. Though the time is very short,
And
journey is long.
journey is very long. So learners, I think you have learned more from Dr. Subodh. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri.